I'm Terry from Bed and Biscuits Boarding and Training Facility. This is Merlin. Merlin has done really well. Come a long way since when she first came here. I've got just a 4-foot leash, but you can use a 6-foot leash, 4 to 6 foot leash. I got a prong collar. I recommend you to use that when you first get her home because she's going to try you a little bit, and eventually after, who knows, a week or whatever, you can probably take that off and use any kind of collar. But whenever you take her to a new place and you know there's going to be distractions or a walk, I would take this collar and put it on her because she's going to listen much better to this. Eventually, after she grows up and you've worked with her a lot, hopefully you won't ever have to use this again, but you may have to. When we return, we're going to come back to the heel on leash, but we're going to do about 4 or 5 different exercises. The heel on leash, the sit stay, the down stay, and the recall. Okay, I've got hand signals to teach you through all of them. And through all these exercises, she will be, or he will be, at your left side. Okay, when we return, we'll start out with the heel on leash. Okay, so like I said, the dog is at your left side. Do not keep the leash tight like that. That's the biggest thing to try to remember. Easy to forget, but try to remember. Keep it loose, just a little bit like that. And then as you're walking, when you feel it get tight, just pull and release to where it gets tight. And her reward is to keep this leash, or his reward is to keep the leash loose. So at your left side, just take your first step, tell him to heel. And when you stop walking, he should automatically sit. If he doesn't, make him sit. Right turn, left turn, about turn, he should be right at your side. Ready, Merlin? Heel. Good boy. Good boy. Hand signal to sit. Bring your hand up like that. Sit. Good boy. Heel. Good boy. You should automatically when you stop. Very good. Exercise finished. Praise you. Okay, this is going to be Merlin's sit stay. Get a hand signal to sit is just bring your hand up like that. Hand signal to stay. Put your hand in his face. Tell him to stay as you walk to the end of your leash. And reinforce where to stay or he's going to try to follow you. Tell him to stay. Just stay out there to start out with just 3 seconds. Then return all the way back at this position here. And then release him. I tell him free, but you can tell him okay or whatever you want. Okay? And then praise him. I don't use any treats, just pet him and praise him. Make a big deal of him. Sit, stay. 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 You're just going to stand here like this, but I've worked with him where if you choose to do the off lead later on, bring him back for off lead, I'm going to walk around him and he should stay there. And it's a good, you can work on that too later on after you've got out here like this and return to him. After a week or two or whatever, you can try this. Stay. 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 It just gets him used to knowing that no matter what you do or where you go, he has to stay. And reinforce stay as you return. Get all the way back and then release him. Exercise finished. Good boy. Okay? This is going to be Merlin's down stay. He's going to be at your left side. You're going to turn and face him. Put your finger right to the ground. Tell him to stay. Tell him to down. And tell him to stay. Walk out to the end of your leash like you did the sit stay. He usually does very well with it. Merlin, down. Stay. Stay. Again, I'm going to walk around him just to get him used to that. But you, when you start out at home, just stand here like this for 3 seconds and return back to him and release him. Stay. Stay. Down. Stay. 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 Exercise finished. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Praise you. Okay, this is going to be Merlin's recall. Again, you sit him at your left side. Stay. Walk to the end of your leash. Turn and face him. And your hand signal to come is bring your hand to your chest. Sometimes I'll take a step back real quick and tell him to come, and he'll come to you. You want him to come to you nice and quick if he can. Doesn't matter how fast, but come to you, and you'd like to have him sit at your feet. If he doesn't sit, that's okay, but we're wanting him later on when you call him, when you don't even have him on leash, you call him and he comes. Okay, come on. Come on, baby. Sit. Stay. Stay. Merlin, come on. Good boy. Exercise finished. Praise your dog. Good boy. Okay, Merlin's done really well. At first, he started out slow. That's kind of typical of Adobe, especially a young one. But man, once he realized I was going to make him do it, that's one thing I think I was telling you when you came to visit him here last time. Any command you give him, well, whether it's come, stay, whatever it is, sit is a big one. Only tell him twice. And if you can, only tell him once. If he sits when you tell him once, that's great. Or just answer. But if you have to tell him twice, do it. But by the third time, you're making him do it. Because every time he doesn't sit when you tell him to, he's breaking that command, and it becomes a habit. So no matter what command you give him, if you got him on a leash and he doesn't do it the first 2 times, make him do it the third time. Don't tell him 6 or 8 or 10 or 15 times and then make him do it or give up. That's the worst thing you can do. If you do that, then he's basically thinking that's okay to do it that way at times. Go through doorways. I make him sit and stay till I open the doorway and go through first. Then I call him with a recall, bring my hand to my chest. He does pretty well with that, unless he's really excited. When I feed him, I make him sit, tell him to stay before I put his food down. I'm not sure if you were already doing that. I think these little things that let him know that you're the one that has to tell him what to do and you're the alpha is going to make him a better dog down the road. So I've really enjoyed working with him, and if you want to do the off lead down the road after you get him doing really well at home for you on a leash, give me a call, and I think he could possibly do the off lead later on after he grows up a little bit. Thank you very much. Good boy.